Looking back, this year wasn't perfect. Every messy in-between moment taught me something. Even though I don't have it all figured out, spoiler, none of us do, I can step into 2025 knowing I have grown. Okay, so 2024 was a ride. I've been thinking about how every single month felt like it came with its own little life lesson. Some of them amazing, some not so much. But I figured instead of just letting this year blur to the past, I want to sit down with you and relive it one lesson for every month. Some months flew by so fast. Others felt like they dragged on forever. But when I look back, I realized how much each moment shaped me, sometimes in ways that I didn't even notice at the time. So think of this as a time capsule of the year, and maybe even a little reminder that we're all just figuring it all out. So grab a drink, get cozy, and let's go through the year together. Maybe you see a little bit of yourself in here too. Either way, I'm so glad you're here for this. January starting strong doesn't mean doing it all. January always feels like a fresh start, a clean slate, a whole new year ahead. I jumped in full force, big goals, detailed routines, and trying to change everything overnight. At first, it felt exciting, but within 2 weeks, I was completely overwhelmed and burned out. That's when I realized I didn't have to do it all at once. I decided to focus on just one thing, one goal that really mattered, and let the rest follow. January taught me that starting strong doesn't mean doing everything. It means being intentional, starting small, and building momentum step by step. February, prioritize the people who prioritize you. February made me realize how important it is to surround yourself with the right people. I started setting boundaries and focusing on the people who truly showed up for me. February taught me this: invest your energy in the relationships that feel mutual, not one-sided. Those are the connections that truly matter. March, rest isn't a reward, it's a need. By March, I was burning the candle at both ends, convinced that if I wasn't constantly working, I was falling behind. And then my body said, nope. I hit a wall and I had no choice but to slow down. It took me a while, but I finally understood. Rest isn't something you earn after doing enough. It's something you need to do your best in the first place. April, not everything goes as planned, and that's okay. In April, I had this big project I was so excited about. I've been working on it for months, putting in so much time and energy, and then it flopped like completely. At first, it felt like such a waste, but then I took a step back. I realized I learned so much from it. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of getting there. April reminded me that even when things don't go the way you planned, you can take the lessons, adjust, and keep moving forward. Setbacks aren't the end. They're just part of the process. May, small wins deserve celebrations too. May taught me to stop waiting for the big moments to feel proud. I started celebrating the little things, like finally getting through a tough day or crossing off a small to-do. Those tiny wins, and they add up. And when you notice them, life feels so much more meaningful. June, keep showing up for yourself. In June, I almost gave up on making YouTube videos. I felt stuck and like nothing was improving. But then I remember why I started: to create and connect with people like you. So I kept showing up even when it was tough and it felt like no one was watching. Little by little, things started to shift. June taught me that growth isn't about perfection or instant results. It's about showing up for yourself even when it's hard. July, life's best moments happen when you're not planning. July showed me how beautiful life can be when you stop overthinking. One afternoon, my boyfriend suggested we go paddle boating. I almost said no. I wasn't in the mood, but decided to say yes anyway. We spent hours on the water laughing and soaking in the moment. It wasn't planned, but it became one of the best days of my year. July taught me that the best memories happen when you let go and just say yes. August, you have to listen to yourself. By August, I was exhausted emotionally, mentally, and everything. I realized I've been saying yes to everyone except myself. So I spent a month slowing down, going on more walks, solo dates, and doing the little things that brought me joy. It felt selfish at first, but then I got it. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. September, progress isn't always obvious, but it's there. September was one of those months where I felt stuck. I wasn't moving forward no matter how hard I tried. Then I looked back, not just at September, but at the year as a whole, and I realized how far I actually come. Sometimes progress is quiet. It doesn't always feel big or exciting in the moment, but it's there. Building day by day, September taught me to trust the process, even when it feels slow, because every small step adds up. October, facing fear is the first step to growth. October was all about stepping out of my comfort zone in a big way. I finally decided to sign with a talent management agency, and honestly, I was terrified, but once that I did, I felt this incredible rush of pride, and it's been wonderful since. Fear doesn't mean you shouldn't do something. It's just a sign you're growing. November, gratitude changes everything. In November, I started keeping a list of things that I am thankful for, not because life was perfect, but because I needed a reminder of the little things that make it good. Morning matcha, a sunset, or a walk in the park, focusing on those moments shifted my mindset. Gratitude doesn't fix everything, but it makes the hard days easier. December, reflection brings perspective. And here we are, December, looking back. This year wasn't perfect, but it was so real. Every challenge, every win, every messy in-between moment taught me something. And even though I don't have it all figured out, spoiler, none of us do, I can step into 2025 knowing I have grown. That's all we can really ask for, right? And that's it, 12 lessons for 12 months. Looking back, it's wild to see how much it can change in a year. Even when it feels like life is moving so fast. The good, the bad, the moments in between, it all adds up to growth. If there's one thing I've learned from this process, it's that every experience has something to teach us. So as we're stepping into the new year 2025, let's carry those lessons with us and keep showing up for ourselves one day at a time. Now, I love to hear from you. Let me know one lesson you learned this year. Drop it in the comments. I cannot wait to read them. And lastly, thank you so much for being here, for sharing the space with me, for allowing me to do what I do. I still wake up and pinch myself sometimes that I'm doing this, and that's crazy to me. But thank you so much for making this journey so much more meaningful to me. And I'm so glad you're here. Happy holidays!